This is Sky Sports 1.
And that shows the spirit of the game as they take that.
The crowd is getting thrilled and dizzy.
Blackburn Rovers are in a relegation dogfight to stay in the Premiership. Just 18 months ago they were champions. Across for them tonight is Newcastle United that have lost their last 3 games. It promises to be a fascinating night tonight at eFootball Park.
Football Special.
eFootball Park, home of the 94-95 Premiership champions, in a fight to keep Premiership football alive here in the heart of Lancashire next season. Newcastle United remain their opponents. They're a side which are in relegation-esque form. 3 defeats on the trot. Talk of potential Kevin Keegan's job on the line. Unthinkable when you think when Newcastle were. It's our big game here on our Forward Football Special. Blackburn Rovers versus Newcastle United. And we've got the whole match coming up for you. Good evening, and I hope you had a wonderful Christmas from all of us here at Sky. We hope you did. This promises to be a game which is utterly fascinating for the fact that both sides are out of form. Both sides can score, but can't really defend, so it promises to give everything. And alongside me tonight is Trevor Gray that will go ahead and let's review basically in terms of how this match is going, how we see this. Well, I think it's worth pointing out that in the terms, the way in which this has gone, Newcastle United, they really have to win this today. Blackburn Rovers also really have to win this. It really is. I mean, we're halfway through the season now, and already must-win games are appearing. It just shows you how competitive this league is. Blackburn Rovers don't win here today, you know, they could find themselves 3 to 4 points adrift of 17th place, and suddenly then that gap becomes bigger and harder to claim when you're further back from everyone else. For Newcastle United, they've seen some of their rivals really kick into gear. Manchester United again, another big result for them, and it's allowed them to kick forwards. And I think for Newcastle United, they've got to get over this little hump that they're in, and if they can get a result here, that'll put them on track for the championship. Well, let's have a look at the odds here today. And the bookies, well, they are predicting this game potentially to be won by Newcastle United. It's just edging it. Blackburn Rovers, long odds on that. The draw, though, looks to be a safer bet on things have gone at the moment between these two sides. And when we come back, we will give you the entire game, Blackburn Rovers, Newcastle United, live here on Forward Football Special, the Boxing Day special.
Forward Football Special.
Well, it's a much different story from what we saw of both of these sides 18 months ago. One going for the championship, the other striving to claim their first title. One managed to pip Manchester United to the post, the other was pipped by them. But since then, the start of this season, form has been eluding both sides. Blackburn Rovers find themselves in a relegation battle to remain in the Premiership. Today, Tony Parks goes with a preferred lineup for him. Harry Flitcroft partners Tim Sherwood in the middle of midfield. Chris Sutton is partnered by Kevin Gallagher. Colin Hendry and Henenberg still make up the centre-half lineup. For Newcastle United today, Shearer has got Les Ferdinand as his partner. Faustino Asprilla replaces David Ginola, whose performance has let him off. Lee Clark comes into midfield of Rob Lee, and David Batty and Philip Albert is in. So it's the big game. It's going to be Blackburn Rovers versus Newcastle, and it's live. Clark's throw. Here's Barton. Batty. Lee. Goes back up wide to Lee Clark again. Just thought he lost it for half a second. Got it there. Ferdinand! And Tim Flowers is there to make the stop. The header was right at him. Still had to get a strong hand to get that away. First chance is Newcastle United's and Les Ferdinand's. Back to Jeff Kenner. Cross to Gary Flitcroft. Gets the better of David Batty. Kenner again. Here's Ripley. Kenner again, crossing opportunity. Aspria does well. He'll fall back to Ripley. He does get a cross in, headed away at the near post by Steve Howie. Ripley will get another go. Puts it in towards the far post. Barton gets there ahead. The volley comes in! The volley goes wide from Jason Wilcox. Stuart Ripley here, going deep in towards Sutton. Barton just got there, but it fell kindly for Jason Wilcox. Oh, that's so unlucky. Here's Flitcroft. Ripley, space to put a cross in. Deflection by Aspria, and in the end it's confirmed out there by Steve Howie. So Tim Sherwood to take the corner. 4 minutes under to the end of the first half. Oh, so close from Hendry. It was a brilliant corner. Floated right back in. It got the better of Ferdinand Hendry, and it's wide. A chance like this may happen. Barton. Clark. Ferdinand. Space. Aspria. Good challenge by Kenner, no. A free kick will be given right on the edge of the area. The Irishman here is getting a stern turning off from Graham Poll. Alan Shearer has gone off to grab the ball here. Let's have a look. Was it a foul? I don't think so. I'm not sure that's the right decision. So, Shearer against his former club. £15 million. Decides to put it towards Lee Clark. Warren Barton. Rob Lee. Rob Lee! Well, he went for it, but it flew miles over. And that ends a half which, in truth here today, both these sides are showing perhaps the after effects of a little too much Christmas dinner. The game is really yet to spring to life. With so much on the line, the second half promises to be hugely important. Half time in this one, it's Blackburn Rovers 0, Newcastle United 0. Well, it was a first half that didn't quite live up to its billing, but it felt like a game that was just starting to spring to life. 5 minutes before the break, one wonders if that'll be more of what we see here. This is Rob Elliott. Aspria always wants to go forwards, always got a good touch. Trying to get the better of Stuart Ripley, which he's done. Looking for Ferdinand. Oh, Ferdinand's got there! What a start to the second half from Newcastle United. Aspria's provided the cross. Ferdinand has the goal. Kevin Keegan's plans work perfectly. What a half-time team talk that was. A delightful bit of skill from Aspria. The cross was deep, but it's just the sort of cross that Les Ferdinand has absolutely thrived on this season. Look about that, nice and deep. Hendry couldn't stop him. Flowers, no chance. Brilliant this was to get away from Ripley. What a fantastic cross, but a wonderful header by Ferdinand. And Newcastle take the lead. Beat everybody, it'll come back to Colin Hendry. Now Henningberg. Now Hendry again. Flitcroft, just inches wide. The two centre halves showing how to create an opportunity for Blackburn Rovers. Flitcroft in loads of space here. Oh, should have hit the target, and he knows it. He really does, young man. Stewart. Sutton. Here's Wilcox. Support arriving from the Soap. Here it is now. Oh, it's a fantastic save! No, it isn't! In from Chris Sutton! It was a really good cross by Graham Lasso. The initial save from Srnicek, but he's pushed it straight to the one player you didn't want to. Razor sharp, Chris Sutton, and he's got the ball in the back of the net and brings Blackburn Rovers level. And we have a game on now. Good work when the cross came in. It was beaten by everybody. It was initially, in the end, Stuart Ripley that had the shots. But when Ripley hit it with his left foot, which is not his favoured foot, he's hit it straight at Srnicek. And nobody reacted quicker than Chris Sutton to toe poke the ball home. It's 1-1. Into space for Sherwood, up against David Batty, beating him. Lovely ball. Chris Sutton on the edge of the area, and he tried to curl it in. It was excellent work from Tim Sherwood. Chris Sutton's effort in the end was easily picked up by Srnicek, but that's a brilliant bit of football. Just shows you perhaps what Blackburn Rovers are capable of. Lee Clark. Ferdinand. Shearer! Oh, what a goal that is! What a goal from Alan Shearer against his former club! And he jumps in front of the travelling Geordies to celebrate that one. And so he should. That was so well hit. Alan Shearer, from the moment this was teed up by Les Ferdinand, he seemed to have one thing in mind. Go for it. And he did. And I don't think any goalkeeper will get near that. Such power and ferocity on this shot. And it's flown in. What a goal. And what a moment for Shearer against his former club. Out wide to the So. Sees the space for Stuart Ripley to run into. Flitcroft. Good ball. Ripley. Another good cross. And so close from Sutton. Went for the spectacular. Has so nearly pulled it off. It was Ripley's cross. Believe it or not, that very nearly worked. Fantastic effort by Chris Sutton. It's unlucky. There's a win here for Newcastle United that will bring them from 30 points to 33. In terms of goal difference, be up to 4th if they can hang on. Flitcroft. Good ball out wide to Ripley. Give and go. Ripley gets it again. He's been having a fine match. Dangerous looking ball which is headed away. Only as far as Gary Flitcroft. Now it's Tim Sherwood. Does he think about the shot? He does. Just parried round the post from Pavel Srnicek. More good football again from Blackburn Rovers. And you look at the way in which they're playing and you wonder how they're in the relegation zone. Just fingertips from Srnicek, sending that past the post. Continues to run again, up against Les Ferdinand. Sherwood. That's a lovely little ball, that is. Ripley's in acres of space, out wide. Stuart Ripley's cross. Oh, it was nearly an own goal. It took a wicked deflection. Oh, it's short to Jeff Kenner. Sherwood. Oh, James Beattie has come on and scored with his first touch. Brings Ewood Park to their feet. Coming on to replace Kevin Gallagher. What a moment for the young man. 7 minutes to go. Blackburn Rovers have equalised. And his first touch allowed him to take a shot almost round Rob Elliott. Cernacek, who's made one brilliant save, could get nowhere near that. And it is all square at 2 apiece. Barnes header down. Clark. Batty. Ferdinand. Lee Clark again. Is there to be late drama? Aspria. Good touch. Into Batty. Finds another touch. Finds Shearer. And finds Robley! Oh, what a great save! Tim Flowers. So important. Robley gets the shots off. Newcastle United trying to find a way to win the match. They nearly did. Tim Flowers, a huge save in Blackburn Rovers this season. And that ends it. Fantastic match. Absolutely brilliant contest between two sets of players who really have tried to win it. It's been such entertainment. Probably a draw is a fair result in the long influx of the game. It was an outstanding contest that was just settled by a good bit of tactical work from one manager, one at the half-time team talk, one from the substitutes bench. Full time, it's Blackburn Rovers 2, Newcastle United 2. We've got full analysis coming up right after this. Well, full-time, time to look at some of the stats of the game at the moment. A very excellent game that we did see. As you can see there, Blackburn Rovers shading possession, having 10% more, having more attempts at goal. Newcastle's, though, had more on target. In terms of foul, Blackburn Rovers won that. Corner kicks and free kicks were split evenly at 4 apiece. There was more attempted passes by Blackburn Rovers than Newcastle, but the success rate, that was much better than that from Newcastle's standpoint. In terms of where the key areas where the game was settled, 6 more crosses Blackburn Rovers had to Newcastle's. In terms of interceptions and tackles, nothing separating them. Key saves in the match, Tim Flowers gets the better of Pavel Cernacek, 4-3. This one finishes 2 apiece. Well, Trevor, outstanding game of football that was. We really have got to talk about the sheer quality of the game, because the first half, both sides seemed to feel each other out. The second half was excellent, wasn't it? Brilliant second half. I think at the half-time, a couple of key things took place. Keegan had a word with Aspria and asked him to get on and start running at Kenner. Soon as he did that, suddenly that brought Stuart Ripley further back. That created opportunity for Blackburn Rovers for Newcastle United to exploit Blackburn Rovers. When that happened, credit here to Tony Parks. What he got is he got his midfielders to sit and push further on the Newcastle United's 2 central midfielders. And I think actually on the balance of the play, you look at the midfielders, and I think Sherwood probably had the better of David Batty and Rob Lee today in the middle of that park. It was a workmanlike performance that they needed. I wonder, though, if someone with a more creative mind like Peter Beardsley might have been able to find a key pass today in key moments. But in terms of the match, that was the moment for me. Then the substitute, Gallagher, hadn't really had a good game. Brings on young James Beanty. The young man's first touch just doesn't think about it. And this is the key. Just hits it, and that's what does it. Well, it's 2 apiece here with 9 other games to do. So here's Trev Sheaves with the roundup of all the other goals that took place. A comprehensive win for Manchester United was started when Andy Cole found Nicky Butt, whose left-footed shot was too good at that for Mark Crossley to give Manchester United an early lead. And United's play was full of desire, full of creativity and guile, particularly this curling effort from Andy Cole that doubled the advantage. Nottingham Forest themselves had no answer. Alec Ferguson's side made it 3 when Ronnie Johnson was able to pick the ball up in defence. Cole combining once again with Cantona. Nicky Butt, who had perhaps his best performance in a Manchester United shirt, squared the ball beautifully for Andy Cole for a simple tap-in. Andy Cole has felt like a new signing for Manchester United since being out injured, and he's been a real creative force. But they're no straight out of Roy Keane. This strike was absolutely unstoppable, and the Irishman scoring against his former side. Liverpool were held by Leicester City after an appalling bit of defending allowed Muzzy Izzet to dance his way right the way through the Liverpool back four. A cool calm finish past David James put the pressure in the 73rd minute of the game. But Liverpool will at least be pleased they were able to fight back. 5 minutes from time, Rob Jones met Steve McManaman, who found Robbie Fowler, but found himself through in a tight angle, and God delivered with a bit of power. Just what the cop ordered, Liverpool get themselves a priceless point. Arsenal missed the opportunity to maintain their advantage at the top of their Premiership. The best chance of the first half fell to David Hurst. This left-footed shot missed David Seaman's post by about a couple of inches. Arsenal continued to push forward, but they really lacked a little bit of creativity in the game. Dennis Bergkamp's effort was as close as they got to this goalless draw. Chelsea showed up and delivered. The inconsistent team started to show a little bit of consistency, beating Aston Villa, particularly when Frank Sinclair found himself through after the pass through from Eddie Newton. And eventually Dan Petrescu provided Gianfranco Zola with the header to make it 2. A perfect little move. Zola really is flying at the moment in West London. Chelsea move up the table. Leeds United got off to an excellent start against Coventry City in what was dealt as already a relegation 6-pointer. Ian Rush's brilliant goal gave them the early advantage. But it wasn't enough. Coventry produced a stunning comeback in the end at Ellen Road. It was all started by Keith Richardson finding Peter Ndlovu and the new signing from Newcastle, Darren Huckabee. His cross was brilliantly backed in towards Ndlovu again, looped it over Nigel Martin to bring Coventry City level. And Coventry themselves went ahead and put themselves ahead in the second half. John Solarco broke 3 down the left-hand side. He found Dublin. Dublin's cool head found Ndlovu. That was 2-1. And as Leeds United pushed forward to try and find an equaliser, they were caught on the break. Ndlovu's pass was brilliant, right the way through for Dion Dublin. The former Cambridge and Manchester United man, one-on-one with Nigel Martin. A cool finish from he. Coventry, a huge win, the lower half of the table. Middlesbrough and Everton perhaps produced the most entertaining game so far at the moment, especially when Mikael Beck headed in, passed in this beautiful pass from Juninho. What a ball that was, what a finish that was to give Middlesbrough the advantage. And one good turn deserves another. After a poor bit of play, Craig Hignett pulled out to Juninho that thought, why not? And there's your answer, why not? What a hit that was. But then Middlesbrough showed their own problems and started to sit back and allowed the opposition to get back in the game. And that's exactly what Everton did. Duncan Ferguson played through Nick Barmby. Far too much space for he in the area. Coolly slotted the ball past Gary Walsh with his left foot. And at the end of the first half, there was just more and more pressure for Middlesbrough to survive. They couldn't do so. Andy Hinchcliffe's corner was headed in by Nick Barmby to get his second of the game and bring the scores level. But Middlesbrough show their made a sterner stuff, and what you're about to see here potentially is the pass of the season. Robbie Marstow's cross, look at that from Ravanelli, not even looking where Beck was, but allowing Mikael Beck to score an empty net. It was this advantage and momentum that Middlesbrough carried to go ahead and seal the game. When Beck played in Hignett again, they had a fine match to Ravanelli, who got on the score sheet. 4-2 to Middlesbrough at the Riverside, an excellent match. Sunderland maintains that with everyone else at the lower half of the table winning, they should do also. That's exactly what happened. Bracewell's cross met Quinn. Good save first attempt, not on the second. A huge win for Sunderland. They get back on winning ways at Roker Park. Southampton, though, it wasn't as good a day for them, and it's been a really poor Christmas for them. For the simple, the fact that the opening passing move of the game, they didn't even touch the ball before they realised that Chris Armstrong had put them 1-0 down. And 1 became 2, Armstrong again. This time, this lovely little pass back by Sheringham. Armstrong showing us that there's power to his game. Spurs have found their way moving further and further up the table, and there's talk of European football, and that might be the case if Spurs continue to show their ability to counter-attack just as such as this. Chris Armstrong played in Teddy Sheringham, the England man one-on-one with Besson, a cool calm finish, 3-0 Spurs. But Spurs didn't have it all their own way, and Southampton were able to get themselves back in the game. Matt Letizia found an excellent pass that favoured to Jim Magilton. His ball into the area was just absolutely spot on. Egil Ulstenstad with a tap in. May not be much, but it's dark times, bleak times for those at the Dell. 1-1 between two sides that showed they know how to play a bit of football in the London derby. Vinnie Jones played in Ulrich Learhardsson, who then played in Marcus Gale. Look about this for a finish. Not sure there's nothing that Milosko could do about that. But West Ham proved that they've got a little bit of life in them and are entertaining force. Paolo Futre, his excellent cross, was headed in by Ian Dowie, although some will say potentially Neil Sullivan should have stopped it. It didn't matter, and it made the travelling Hammers fans delighted with this 1-1 draw. And with that, let's look at the table. And Manchester United are 2 points clear of Liverpool at the moment. A really healthy goal difference, another 4-0 away win for them. Puts them further up at the moment. It's just 2 defeats this season. They are starting to play some excellent football now. They're free from the shackles of the European campaign, as some have said. Aston Villa will be disappointed today, but Chelsea join them level along with Arsenal. Then lining up Wimbledon, really good performance. Newcastle United after that will remain 7th. So they're not even in earmark for European football, but it's only 6 points. A good run of form could turn that around at the moment. Wednesday remain in the top half. Bottom half, Sunderland sitting in 11th at the moment. Really good performance for them. 15 points short of their target, which has been said. Peter Reid has said 40 points to stay up this season. They are starting to edge ever closer as this game goes on. Bottom of the table, Blackburn Rovers will not be helped. They're 3 points short of Leeds United, who are very much in a relegation battle. You'd have to say potentially Middlesbrough and Coventry City are also. They've recovered well. Nottingham Forest, another big defeat for them. Worrying moments to see if they'll say. As for Southampton, they all find themselves in a dogfight. Well, there we go. That's Boxing Day here on Sky. A lovely game of football that we saw between Blackburn Rovers and Newcastle United. In the end, it just shows you the magic of a super sub could change everything. From all of us, thank you very much for watching, and bye-bye.